Now I'm going to try to get the YouTube going. Okay, so we're going to go live. Do you guys like my background? That's New York. Yes, it is. Okay, we want to... What's going on here? I don't know what's going on with my thing. Schedule a stream. I don't know what to use for my stream over here. Create a new one, I guess. We're going to play Divine or Decline. If you're just joining, if you want to come up and be on the panel, you can. Make sure you like the live, share it out, do all the good things. Hopefully we'll get some subscribers in here. I haven't shared it out yet, so I will do that in just a minute. Oh my goodness. And you guys get to come up and ask me some Divine or Decline questions. Hang on one second. Gotta get this going. Bear with me. Bear with me. All right, let's see. This is my first sub-only live, so I don't know if anybody will show up to play, but they asked me for this, so I'm giving it to them. Hey, Pax, how are you? Did you want to come up and chat? I'm trying to set up the YouTube. I'm always behind on this, okay? Next. Done. Okay. Now... I gotta do this. We gotta go TikTok. Oh, I need to turn off the sound. Turn off the sound so we don't get feedback. Okay. TikTok. We're gonna move this over here and we are going to the profile. We're gonna log out of this account, log into the other account. I want to use username. All right, almost ready. Oh my goodness. All right, find my live, do this, and now pull this up. There's so much to do. There I am. My own YouTube subscription is going to, my own subscription to myself is going to expire in 48 hours, it just told me. Okay, that's not good. Why is this weird? Hey, Pax, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing, Crystal?
Okay, I just hate that I can't just do the stream the way I used to because TikTok updated their studio and it makes it lag so bad. So I have to do all of this other extra stuff and it's ridiculous.
Oh,
okay,
cool.
I'm finally done. I'm finally done. It takes that long. I have to start TikTok first. So I'm live while I'm trying to start YouTube. And then there's just a million things I have to do to get over onto YouTube and it just sucks. So what's new with you? I haven't talked to you in a minute.
Yeah. What have I been up to? I've been up to a lot of stuff. I live in West Virginia right now.
Okay.
And, I'm still trying to get to Canada, but it's tricky. And I still don't even have the money to apply for a passport. So, but I'm trying to make some money. I have a book about boundaries for elementary
Nice.
school kids.
Oh,
That
good.
yeah, it's really good. It's got like 10 different boundaries that kids can use, and then a DBT skill that's like that associated with them. and there's going to be like flashcards of them that kids can carry with them so they can like show their boundaries if they can't say them out loud.
That's
And
good.
it's going to be like about how like kids can say no to anybody at any time, and if people don't like
Yeah,
respect their no's, what to do and stuff like that. And
I
so
really like that.
like I didn't know that. I didn't know about boundaries as a kid. And if I had, I would have been way less effed up. You know what I mean? So um
Yeah, it's something that they I taught my kids very young. I taught my children since they were little that nobody was ever allowed to touch them if they didn't want to be touched, and that included mom and dad, and that included touch that is considered affectionate, including hugging and tickling.
yeah.
Okay, because if they knew they could say no to mom and dad, then who couldn't they say no to? Now, is it 100% protection? It's really not, but it does help a lot more because kids feel empowered to understand that they're real. They should be able to have body autonomy at as soon as they're old enough to understand that they even have a body. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
absolutely. Yeah,
we
100%.
need to give them that power, you know. And so I taught them that, and they have told me that they did appreciate that because, like a lot of people, even if nothing bad were to happen to a child, there were times where I was tickled, where I still have a memory of it, where
Oh
that's
yeah.
not good. That's not good. Where I'm
Yep.
like, I remember one time in particular, my dad was tickling me and I was laughing so hard, I couldn't breathe. It was almost like I was hyperventilating. And I kept trying to tell him to stop, that I couldn't breathe, that I couldn't breathe. And he wouldn't stop. And I was laughing and flailing and kicking. And I kicked a chair and it fell over and it hit a glass table. The table didn't break, but it did put this, and the table was made by my brother who was the golden child.
Oh,
And it did put like a dent or a scratch like in the chair arm or something. And my dad lost his shit at me. He just lost his shit, like, you don't have to act like that. And I don't know, it was so ridiculous. And I remember thinking even at that time, like, what did I do wrong? Like, I literally couldn't breathe. I begged for you to stop. I didn't say any of this because I was a
yeah.
kid, but in my head I was like, I don't know what I could have done different. And that's why I wanted my kids to know, not just for the awful horrific things that could happen to them, but for things like that. Like, if you don't want to be tickled, why is somebody touching you?
Yeah. I have what is called tickle trauma from my brother. And so even before I knew that though, when my kids were born, I was like, if you're tickling somebody and you hear stop, you stop immediately. You take your hands off like that second.
Yes.
And like we
Yes.
even like practiced it because
That's
it was
good.
so important to me that they not do that to each other. And then we also had like I used to say no means no, but also yes means yes. Like, so really you should be asking before you touch somebody, or you should, someone should invite it before you touch somebody, that sort of thing too. So
Yeah.
but because consent and boundaries, like and I knew about those things. I didn't know about boundaries back then. I just knew that those things were important and I taught it to my kids. And now if I could, I would do it so much harder and so much, like
Right.
there's so much more that I would have told them that I just didn't know back then. But I am glad that I was able to teach them bodily autonomy, like without it had never been taught to me, but I was lucky enough to
Yeah.
figure it out, to give my kids.
That's the same with me. It definitely wasn't taught to me. No, you've got to be kidding me. It wasn't taught to me. But yeah, I did. Those things were very important to me. And sometimes I don't know if I have imposter syndrome. I don't know what it is, but there's this part of me that always questions, I know this sounds weird, questions my own morals and the motivation for my morals. So I will like I will think in my mind, like, oh, I will think, like, I will look at some young parents and some of the things that they are doing or implementing in their homes, and I'll think, that is really smart. Like, I wonder if I would have done stuff like that when I was a mom. And I did. But, like, I don't give myself any credit for some of the things that where I broke, you know, I broke, you know, the generational trauma and stuff by being the generation that said, no, you're not going to do this, that, or the other thing. Like, my kids knew from a very young age too that not being touched also means you don't have to hug or kiss a relative if you don't want to. You know,
Yep, I
my
did that
family, are you
too.
kidding me? If my aunt wanted a hug or squish my cheeks or
Oh yeah.
whatever the fuck I was supposed to do, it was considered rude and disrespectful for me not to, you know?
Or the
And I
one
was
that had
like,
the
I
really
don't like
stinky
that.
lipstick and you could smell it on your
Yeah.
cheek for a whole day, no matter how much you tried to wash it off. 100%.
Or the uncle who smelled like alcohol and aftershave mixed in a bottle and sprayed all over him, you know, with a BO at
Yeah.
the same time somehow, you know. It was like, no, I don't. And it wasn't, you know, like, it's also, there's just sometimes you get the creeps from certain people as a kid. And I'm like, I don't, that person gives me the creeps. And later, like maybe 20 years down the line, you figure out why. And then you're
Yep.
like, oh, I had really good intuition as a kid. But still, my mom and dad made me hug them or whatever, you know? And so
Yeah.
I didn't want my kids to feel that way either. I changed a lot of the rules in my home. I was not a perfect parent. I'm giving myself a lot of kudos here, but I definitely had undiagnosed mental illness. There was yelling and screaming in our house that I regret to this day and have apologized profusely for to
I
my
bet you
children.
have. When are
But,
you gonna forgive yourself about that though?
oh, never. That's never going to happen.
So you
I'm
know
not
that you're
good at
never gonna be
forgiving
able to get
myself.
past it though, until you decide to forgive yourself for that.
That's true. I don't know. It's, I don't like the way we did that. I don't
I
like the way we
know.
did that.
I know. It's hard. I'm challenging you here because I think you can take it.
You
Like
can, I
I
can.
like I there's so many things that I wish that I could go back and change. There's so many little conversations that I wish that I could go back and have again. You know, and but what I've had to tell myself is because I started to try to learn to love myself like 4 years ago. And so that part of that means looking upon yourself with the same compassion that you would your own child. And and
No, we can't do that.
my friend, you need to read Self-Compassion by Dr. Kristen Neff. It's a game changer. But because it's like, listen, you deserve the kind of compassion and support that everybody deserves, and probably in the situations where you wish you could go back and
You're going to
change
make me
because you.
cry. Why do you do this, Pax?
Well, it's because I love you and I want you to love you. And the thing is, like, and like, you know that, like, you can't really love anyone until you love yourself, right? Like, in the way that is peaceful and free and calm. You have to love yourself in order to really love your kid. And you already love your kids so much. Can you give yourself a fraction of of the love that you give to your kids every minute that they're alive? Because are you not a child that deserves love and support and forgiveness and compassion for not knowing what you didn't know? Because that's the thing. It's like, if you could go back and change something, that's only, you would go back given what you know now, but you didn't know what you know now. So you can't blame yourself for not doing for not doing with information what you would have if you'd had that. You
Thank
wouldn't
you,
ask that of
Joyful.
your daughter.
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. But it's, whew. Deconstructing, it's so much more than the religion, and people have no idea. And I hear people sometimes say, Well, I deconstructed 5 years ago, and I left the church, and it sounds like they did it almost instantaneously. And for me, it's a process every single day. It's not just the religion, it's the harmful things that you're taught by Christian parents. They have nothing to do with necessarily the church other than it has been accepted in the church or biblically throughout generations. And then you grow up and you become a parent yourself, and you start to reevaluate what is a parent, what is that designation, what is it that I'm supposed to do, what are my responsibilities besides feeding and clothing and protecting physically this child, what else are my things? And when you've had a warped example of what that is, and you realize as you get older all the mistakes you made because of that warped vision, it's hard to forgive yourself. You feel like you should have known, just like I feel like I should have known that the whole goddamn religion was fake. Like I even beat myself up about that.
Well, because
Like, why didn't I know?
You've been trained to feel guilty every time you feel uncertain or every time you get the answer wrong, because every answer that you get wrong is a potential high stakes situation. Like if I get this wrong, I could go to hell. Like that was like every choice that you made, right?
Yeah, true.
And you felt like God
Absolutely
was
true.
there watching you in every single choice, and you felt like everything was a values judgment. Like, ding, I'm a bad person. Ding, I'm a good person. Like, or like trying to put in those transactions, and like it's so devastating to find out that scorekeeper isn't there, and that no one's actually been watching you to see, and but also like no one's been watching you, and they aren't now. And so, but I think what we do as deconstructionists is, because we've been trained to tell ourselves we are horrible people on the inside without this God. And now that we've given up this God, we feel like we have to justify it to the old critics in our brains that tell us that we need the God. Like, well, this is how I live now. Like, and if I don't have something like that, then maybe they're right and I'm wrong. But you can't do that to yourself. You can't feel guilty when you don't have something to replace the thing that they've jammed into you. But can you replace some of those things inside of yourself? Like some of those old words that you've heard them say to you, some of the things, those sentences that come into your mind that still bother you, versus that they can't get out. Can you rewrite them for yourself?
I've been trying to do that for decades. I remember years ago, I read, what was his name? I don't remember. I actually have autographed book from him, but he wrote a book called What You Say to Yourself When You Talk to Yourself. And it became very popular because he ended up on Oprah. And you know how if she pushed a book, everybody bought it back in the day.
Was it Rob Bell?
No, it's Shad, I think. I feel like his first name is Shad for some reason, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
He has a different name, but and so he talks in the book about, the things that we say to ourselves and how it really affects our psyche and stuff. So I've worked on it for so many years. I even worked on a blog for a while called Dear Little Crystal, and it was a blog where the grown Crystal would recall memories where little Crystal didn't have anybody there to save her.
Oh, wow.
And grown Crystal came in and changed what happened. I'm the adult who stepped in when somebody should have.
Oh, wow, Crystal, that's beautiful.
And and it has helped a lot. There are lots of things like that I do to work on me and to try to love myself better. But to be honest with you, the fact is, I have mental illness. I'm going to have it until the day I die, and a lot of that comes with what we've been through, Pax. What the fuck we've been through, and all I could do is work on healing every day and heal as much of me as I can each day and every day. And it's not easy some days to do anything for yourself, let alone the hard work.
Yeah.
But wow, forgive me, treating myself like I would treat my kids. I don't know if I could make that happen, because I don't know that I love anybody like I love my kids, nor have I before, and nor do I, well, except for my granddaughter, of course.
Oh, Crystal, I ran into this too, because when I started doing that, I thought about it and I immediately started sobbing. I was like, nope, I can't do this one. But what I did was treat yourself like you would your college roommate. Because then it's a little bit more separation, but there's still like kind of love there. You know what I mean? And care and support, So
yeah, for sure. Give myself the advice I would give my friend, like, why are you down on yourself right now? You're a good person.
Yeah. Because I get it that it can be too emotional if you think about it with your kid. Like I certainly couldn't do that at first. But
it might take some time, but maybe I'll get there one day.
Yeah. The great thing is, like, because there's not a rapture that we have to worry about. There's not like any like significant thing that we have to make sure that we're ready for at any moment. We can just take our time and work on the things for ourselves slowly if we need to. We don't have to get anywhere today, right? We just get a little closer to we just make some more good decisions for ourselves every day.
Yeah, and literally that's what I'm trying to do right now. Instead of a lot of times with whatever it is I have, because sometimes I don't even know if they know. When they're diagnosing you and they're like,
oh yeah,
you could have ADHD. Well, are you going to test me for it? Well, I don't know, and it's like, okay, well, do I have it or I don't, what does that mean? Anyway, now I forgot what I was going to say. What was the last thing you said?
Oh, dang,
do you remember?
I think I closed out that tab.
I did too.
That's how I see it. I feel like my brain is like a computer screen, and I feel like I have a browser with like different tabs open, and some of them like take up space. Like I have a song running through my head all the time, and I also have a piece on piano running through my head with my fingers all the time. Like there's just so many things I have going on. But sometimes people will say something, and then I'll X out of a tab, and then I'm like, oh damn, I can't remember what it was.
Okay, so what it was is that when I'm working on myself, we're gonna say I have ADHD because they do think I have it. They just haven't done the formal test yet. And they said, what happens for me is, let's say I decide, okay, I'm going to clean Depression House now. I'm going to get it all clean from one end to the other. And then I'll just have to keep it up and I'll feel better. I'll feel better. Like I won't have as much depression if my house is clean and, whatever I tell myself at the time, right? But the problem is that my brain will then become overloaded because it will imagine trying to do the entire house like all in one sitting or something. Like it just thinks like it's, and now instead I've really been working on, instead of worrying about cleaning like the whole house, one end to the other, I'm just going to worry about the bathroom today. I'm just going to clean the bathroom today. Actually, I'm just going to clean the counter of the bathroom today. If I clean the counter of the bathroom, and then I just start keeping that counter clean, then then life will be easier. And then maybe tomorrow I'll just clean up the floor in the bathroom and do the laundry. And if I just keep the floor and the counter of the bathroom clean, that will be so much easier. And my brain can handle those little pieces better. And I'm learning how to accept it that I am neurodivergent. I don't see things the way other people do. I'm not ever going to.
Yep.
And I need to stop trying to fit into their shape. I'm a round peg. I need to go into the round hole. They're a square
love
peg,
that.
and they're trying to put me in the square hole, and I'm not a square. So I'm just trying to accept who I am and work with what I've got and do the skills that I need to, to reach my goals, to feel better, to have a clean house, and to take better care of myself.
Yeah, I love that. Hey, it looks like there is 1 minute and 47 seconds left. We need one more gifter to give Crystal a rose. Someone who has not done it yet. I think it's a really good time to gift Crystal a rose so she can get that gift goal, so
Thank
that
you.
the happy things can happen, so the tick can be talking.
Does anybody want to come up? If you are in chat and you want to come up, you can. We're hanging out. This is a subscribers only live. This is my first one, so it might not get a big turnout, but we'll get there, right? Pax, do you want to play some Divine or Decline with me?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Are you guys gonna play in chat? Anybody else want to come up and play Divine or Decline? Okay. I have my iPad loading all of the ones I've used before already, okay? And if you want to, Pax, if you have anything near you where you could look up something, you could try to stump me on some, okay? Because that's what we were going to do today, but a lot of people ended up having to work and do stuff. Everybody wanted to stump me. So Divine or Decline, remember, if it's from the Bible, it's divine. If it's from the Quran, the Book of Mormon, or I made it up, it's decline, okay? So I'll do one, and you guys can tell me if you want to do one.
I should do this with worship song lyrics. It should
No,
be,
I'm serious. That's what Ken and Christina told me, and so we're doing some of those too. We're gonna do.
That's amazing.
Is it a gospel song, or is this like R&B? What is this? Because a lot of times you can really interchange like a love song and a gospel song.
100%. I always call them the Jesus is my boyfriend songs.
Yes, exactly. All right. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. Divine or Decline?
Oh, divine.
Yes, absolutely. That's Proverbs 9:10.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys can use the stickers in the chat, because I have the Divine is the D with the halo over the top, and the Decline is the backwards D with the horns. Okay. Okay. For the river shall turn to blood, and the fish therein shall perish, and a great stench shall rise from the waters.
I believe that is divine.
That is Decline. It's made up.
I'm actually really bad at this.
Everybody is. Pax. They're not coming up because they're chickens. No. Everybody always says they're bad at this.
Like I've blocked out
this.
Like I will.
You
For
got-
me, like I've
Do you guys
blocked
see
out.
that?
I've blocked
That's
out.
New York.
Ooh.
That was my son's view from his apartment in New York.
Oh wow, cool. I've blocked out so much of what I learned about the Bible because I used to be a competitive Bible memory person from age like 4 to 12. And so
Me too, and I
my
don't
brain
remember
blocked out
any
so much of
anymore.
it. Yeah.
Me too, Pax. Like, I am so bad at memorizing verses now. And I will have Christians tell me all the time, you don't know where that is in the Bible. And I'll think, bitch, I'm an atheist. Why should I know? You're the one who should know where it is. What are you talking about? Okay.
It's so true.
Number 3. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips he shall slay the wicked.
With the rod of his mouth? What is he doing?
I don't know. He's got a rod in his mouth for some reason. I don't know.
I would love to say decline, but I think that's in there.
What do you think, Pax?
I really do think that's in there. And also same.
It is divine. That's Isaiah 11:4. Good job, you guys. Okay, he fashioned the night for rest and the sun for radiance, and in that are signs for those who reflect.
Decline.
Decline.
Okay, do you guys want bonus points?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, here's the bonus points. Okay, you say Book of Mormon. Pax, you have to tell me Book of Mormon, Quran, or made up.
Oh, Book of Mormon.
It is the Quran. So you didn't get the bonus points, but you did get it right.
Should have went with facts.
Okay, and they were baptized in the name of their Redeemer, and their sins were washed away.
Oh, this is a toughie.
Divine.
Decline.
It is decline. It is Book of Mormon, Mosiah. It doesn't tell me where for some reason. I don't know why. I must have forgot to put that in there. Okay, ready? Woe unto the builders of idols, for their I'm sorry, let me read like a normal human being. Woe unto the builders of idols, for their hands are full of vanity, and their tongues speak deceit.
I'd say divine on that one, actually.
Divine.
That is decline. It's made up.
No! Wow, you're good at that.
Really, that was a good one.
That was.
It wasn't good. Okay, the Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit.
Divine.
I'll go with you, Pax. Divine.
It is divine. It is Psalm 34:18. Okay.
Nice.
And he said unto them, they must repent and be born again, even of water and of the Spirit, or they cannot inherit the kingdom of God.
Divine.
Divine.
Decline. That's the Book of Mormon, Alma.
No way. I thought that was divine. Okay.
Well, you
Yeah,
know,
it's close
the
to
thing,
it.
the reason why it's hard is because we know that the Book of Mormon and the Quran stole from the Bible. So they all sound very much Bible-y. God created the heavens and the earth in truth. Indeed, and that is a sign for the believers.
Decline.
Yeah, I'd say decline. JD.
That is decline.
What's
Hey,
up?
JD.
I snuck away.
Yes.
Hey, can you say that one more time?
Yeah, the last one.
Yeah.
And he said unto them, they must repent and be born again, even of water and of the Spirit, or they cannot inherit the kingdom of God.
It got so much divine stuff in there. I'm going to go divine.
It is decline. That's Book of Mormon.
Oh my God. Really?
Yeah. Okay, and then God created the heavens and the earth in truth. Indeed, in that is a sign for the believers. Oh, that's the one I had just read. I'm sorry. So you guys already answered that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
What do you think?
Oh, decline.
That is decline. That is Quran 29:44 paraphrased. And number 10, the wicked flee when no one is pursuing, but the righteous are bold as a lion.
Divine.
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 That is divine. That's Proverbs 28:1. Okay, does anybody want to try and see if they can stump me?
Can I say
Just
something about the
pull it.
last verse you said?
Yeah.
I would used to use that to pressure people to evangelize. if they were too scared to evangelize, they weren't they weren't Christians.
I love you so much. Oh my God. I would have been out on the street evangelizing with you. I promise you that. Do you have like any old videos of you out there preaching?
Oh, I hope not. On my 18th birthday, I wanted to go street preach, and I was with the dude that had babies pinned to his shirt, like saying that they're unalive babies, and he was like protesting abortion. And I remember that day, and I'm just like, this is my 18th birthday, and this is what I want to do, and it was just like
That is
really
kind of
confusing
funny.
for me. Yeah.
That does sound confusing.
Yeah, that's a weird 18th birthday.
Right? If anybody wants to see the people I street preach with, just look up Angela Cummings or like
okay.
anybody in Fort Worth. Yeah, she was the one that taught me how to street preach. She's wacky.
Okay, let me see. I have some more verses here, I think, that I can play with you guys. Wait, that's not it. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Okay. For the Lord gives wisdom, from his mouth come knowledge and understanding.
Divine.
Decline.
Decline. I'm gonna see that up.
It's divine. It's Proverbs 2:6.
I can't figure you out. I try, and I just cannot figure you out. There's no pattern to you.
There is no pattern. There really isn't. I'm very random. Okay, and we did travel in the wilderness with our tents, and we did pitch our tents wheresoever we came to.
Divine.
I know, pitching tents.
Yeah, I think they got a pastor in trouble.
Decline.
I'm gonna say divine.
And you said divine,
I
JD?
said divine. Yeah.
Pax is right. That's decline. It's 1 Nephi 16:13.
I give up.
All
They're
right.
pitching their tent.
I mean, I think it's fitting for pitching a tent, right? Decline. Decline.
Did you?
It's always the trans
accidentally
guys
said
with the D
pitching their.
jokes.
Okay, he who built his house on the sand shall surely see it fall with a great crash.
Decline.
See, these are so hard because they use that, and so I'm like, it doesn't sound verbatim. So it's not verbatim; it's decline, right?
Yeah, if it's not verbatim, it's decline. But remember, I use the New American Standard Version unless I tell you different.
Oh, so that's probably where I'm getting the hang up. Okay, then I could say divine.
Okay?
Decline.
It is divine. It is Matthew 7:27. Okay. And it came to pass that the Lamanites were stirred up in anger against the Nephites. Well, you're going to know who that one is. I think I changed that one when we went live. Here, that was an easy one for you guys. Is it divine or decline?
Decline.
Isn't that the
Decline.
Quran? No, I'm joking.
Book of Mormon.
Do you see? I thought you were serious for a minute. I'm like, what? That's Book of Mormon, Alma 24:1. Eventually, I was like making my computer replace words that said Allah or any of the Books of Mormon. Because they say the names of the Books of Mormon a lot in verses. Okay. Let the righteous be silent, for even their voices cannot stir the will of the wicked.
Say it one more time.
Let the righteous be silent, for even their voices cannot stir the will of the wicked.
Ugh, this sounds divine.
Decline.
No, that's a decline.
Decline. That's a made-up one. Good job.
Oh, good.
Yeah, don't
That
forget
was
you
right.
guys have stickers. Tahir, you want to come up? It's just us. It's just us. Yeah, don't forget you have the stickers if you're in the chat. The decline and divine stickers. And behold, they did humble themselves even in the depths of humility.
They humbled themselves in the depths of humility.
Right before they told us they have the only truth.
That sounds.
That just sounded fine to me.
Divine.
Decline.
Tahir, do you want me to repeat it?
Yes, please.
Okay. And behold, they did humble themselves even in the depths of humility.
Divine.
That is decline. That is Book of Mormon, Mosiah 4:11.
I'm jumping back
Nobody go
down.
with me.
No, stay up there.
No, stay.
And anytime you guys want to test me, you guys can go, Google something and give me one, okay? Because
Okay, I got one.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. Hold on.
Okay.
Hi, Hanji.
Hey, Hanji, you want to come up and play with us?
Orange's a queen. I just saw her in Nick's live.
Okay,
Amazing.
you ready?
Yeah.
Here's where wisdom starts. Get some of it.
Jinzy.
What version of the Bible are we using today? The Message?
I don't know what version I'm going to use today.
Okay, say it again.
It's so ridiculous. Here's where wisdom starts. Come get some of it.
I'm going to say
God
decline.
has a rod in his mouth? Is that close to that word?
No, not that time. It's a different time.
Oh, okay. No, that.
Look up Proverbs 4:7 and see what it reads in yours.
Okay, let me see. Proverbs 4:7.
Because I just did a Google search of weird proverbs.
Oh, that's a good way to do it, huh? 4:7 in the NRSVUE says the beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom, and whatever else you get insight. Oh wow,
Okay,
I
so
did
that must
not
be
remember that one.
must be the message or something.
So the beginning of
That
wisdom
is funny.
just to get it.
Thanks,
Wow.
Ivy.
Yes, thank you, Ivy.
That is hilarious.
Okay.
Hold on. Go ahead and do something. I'm looking something up.
Okay, here's one. Anytime somebody has one, just let us know, okay? We'll
I got another
play
one.
whatever one. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, hang on. And the Lord said unto them, go to the water and drink.
I'm going to say divine because, and Jesus said, come to the water and stand by my side. I know you are thirsty. You won't be denied. You know the lyrics?
Sounds divine to me.
Yeah,
But then I'm thinking it might be Book of Mormon. But I'm going to go divine.
That's from the book of Jason. I just made that shit.
That was a good one. That was good. Good job. See, they're not hard to make up. You guys think? You think that I'm a literary genius, but really put Lord with some water and maybe a sheep somewhere and you come up with a good
Something about
Bible
fish.
verse.
Hey, I gotta I gotta get back to work,
Okay.
guys.
Thanks for
I
coming
love
up,
y'all.
JD.
See y'all later.
Bye,
Love
JD.
you.
See you.
Bye.
Okay. Here's one for y'all. The heart of the wise inclines to the right, but the heart of the fool to the left.
That's divine.
That sounds like GOP Bible.
I'm gonna guess decline, and I'm probably wrong.
Is that in Trump's MAGA bubble?
No.
I'll say decline.
It is divine. It's Ecclesiastes 10:2.
This
Okay.
cracks me up. It's like literally
Okay, I got
anytime I think it is divine, I'm like, nah, it doesn't really sound like it, and I'm always wrong.
I was wrong. The two that I was asked, I was wrong on both of them.
Let's see. Honor them that they shower blessings upon you. Your father and mother are over the household.
I'm gonna go decline. Wait, say it again.
Honor them that they shower blessings upon you. Father and mother are over the household.
It kind of sounds like something in Exodus, but I'm gonna still say decline.
Yeah, because something about mother. That's rarely do they mention the women.
What about you, Pat?
Pax?
Oh, decline.
Oh man, I'm terrible at this. Yeah, this is from the Councils of Wisdom, ancient Babylonian text.
Ooh, that was good to use. I never thought of using that. That was smart. I almost said divine because it did sound like something you and I read recently in Exodus, where remember it does say something about the mom and the father, and we were like, oh wow, you have to honor the mom too, you know? We were a little shocked too, Tyre. We were like, what? You mentioned a woman? Okay, and it came to pass that I beheld a tree whose fruit was white to exceed all the whiteness that I had ever seen.
Decline.
Ooh.
It sounds kooky enough to
Divine?
be right out of the Bible, so I'll go with divine.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to go with divine.
Okay, it is decline, and what we've learned is that the Book of Mormon likes to talk about whiteness. You know what I'm saying? So that was Book of Mormon.
Oh, sweet.
Oh.
I'm on to you.
Whoa.
Yowzer.
I was thinking it was Revelation. Okay.
Okay, if a man strikes you on the right cheek, offer him the left, for patience is the path to wisdom.
Divine?
Sounds a little kinky.
Only
I'll
if
say
it's
divine.
consensual.
Right.
Decline.
Oh, wait for me? I'm going to say divine.
Yeah. Okay, that is decline. It's a fake misquoted version of Matthew 5:39.
Wait, what's the
Okay.
misquote?
It doesn't say for patience is the path to wisdom. It says something else. It says something like if a man hits you on the right, give him the left, or something like
Yeah,
that.
see, that's
Right.
that's the thing.
Okay.
It was the second part of that I was like, no, I don't think that
Yeah. Yeah.
I must know the Bible better than I realized.
Right.
Dang, well, help me. I need some help.
My thing is it's a different translation, so I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because like, it's not going to be something I remember. Yeah.
No, right. The reason I use it, as I've said before, is because I don't want to get in trouble by anybody. And New American Standard is copyright free. The Quran is copyright
Smart.
free. And the 1830 Book of Mormon is copyright free. So this way, nobody can come for me later. Okay. Do not give dogs what is holy, and do not throw your pearls before pigs, lest they trample them underfoot and turn to attack you.
Divine.
I want that to be divine, but I really don't know. Divine. I'll go group consensus.
It is divine. The part that Christians always forget is the reason you don't throw your pearls before swine is because we swine might attack your ass. That's why you don't do it. So they always forget that part. They always go, don't throw your pearls before swine. Why? Why, Christian? Oh, because I might come and get you. That's what you
It's
need
like
to
when we
remember.
share
It's
we
deep.
share like objective facts with them, and they don't want to take it.
Yeah.
And they like get their groups of people, and they all like try to get us taken down and stuff.
Did anybody watch the debates with Forrest last night and No Degree Required?
No, I can't believe
I
I
had
missed
no idea.
that. Oh, what a loss.
Oh my God, he was so dumb.
Did it get
I'm not
recorded?
even maybe it's Coco. Like I'll ask him. I'll ask him
Okay,
if it's
because
recorded
that was
or on
probably
YouTube.
hilarious.
Coco has a YouTube
Okay,
channel.
Oh, okay, then it is. I'm sure recorded. We'll need to get a link to it. So I thought I heard somebody coming in my house, and it shouldn't be happening because it's not time yet for somebody to be coming in my house.
Let's do a
Anyway,
Deconstruction Junction showing of the replay of that debate.
yes. There's this one point where no degree is like, basically he's trying to equivocate that if you're okay with abortion, then you should be okay with slavery.
Ew.
He's stuck on
Yeah,
the
because
slavery.
you are taking away the freedom of the baby, and they're taking away the freedom of the slave or whatever. And so every time he asked for, so like he didn't. I don't remember how he put it because he didn't just go like, "Are you okay with abortion?" He didn't do that, But he was like, however he worded it, Forrest was like, "I'm not answering this question. This has nothing to do with does the Bible endorse slavery, And it was just so dumb. And he really thought he won. Like, I'm not kidding. At the end, he's like, "What? What? The votes are in already? Wait, this was the easiest one. I already beat Matt Dillahunty and Tom Rabbit before on the same subject. He's
Oh
never
my
beaten."
gosh.
Obviously. Has he
He's
heard
so,
of false
like-
equivalency? Is that in his dictionary? Needs to learn it.
He had a background this morning that said he destroyed another atheist in a debate.
Oh
My God. You guys, he didn't even address the topic. Oh my God. It was a slaughter. It really was.
Where
I
did
don't
they
know
get
how
that
he
kind
gets
of
that.
confidence? That's
It's
insane.
It's the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's a real effect, and I see it so much. And I'm not joking. I do go, wait, am I a part of the Dunning-Kruger effect? Do I think I'm smarter
Yep.
than I am? Because
I think that too.
we all,
All the time.
yep. Most people think they're
I like-
smarter than they really are. Is basically
Dunning
what it
Kruger's
is.
my address. If you want to
almost-
find me, just look up Dunning Kruger.
It's almost got to be dissociative, like where they're living in this world where they feel like they want it to be this competition, and they're I think that they're like constantly like imagining, hypothesizing themselves, arguing with people, and like winning these arguments and getting these like bits of like dopamine from like the thought of it, and then they go try to do it, and then it doesn't work, and it's like they have to live in these multiple worlds, and like and they almost have to dissociate from what. That like they almost don't know the difference between real and what they're just living in their like fantasy world.
That.
Because Ross Soul was in the chat too, and he was even going, "Oh my God, No Degree just kicked us," and I'm like, "Do they really
Ross Soul?
think that like?" Because Ross Soul thinks he's won every debate too, and I've literally never seen him like even win over his own sentence. Like, he can't afford that. So what is he talking about?
Oh,
I
that
don't
is
get it.
scary.
Try to
Yeah,
be your
it's
friends.
wild. Oh yeah, no. I was nice to Russell once, and then he sent me his syllogism, which I immediately sent to Joyful, and Joyful immediately made a video about. It was the worst syllogism I ever saw. I like texted Joyful right away, and I'm like, doesn't this fall flat at premise too? He's like, yes, absolutely. I'm like,
Yeah, he
what?
sent me the
What
same
even?
thing.
I remember that.
It was so dumb. It was so dumb. Yeah, no, I don't know how they think they win all these. Like, I would totally give them kudos if they won a debate. I would say, oh yeah, hands down, he just won that debate, because you can win a debate and be wrong if you're good at
Yes.
debating.
Yeah.
Okay, but they're wrong and bad at debating. And I don't understand what they get from it. Like, clearly you're not making money because you got 3 roses tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not like you're making money off the gifts. What is it that you're getting? I see
Well, I
you
think
get
it's
embarrassed night
attention.
after night.
They get
Yeah,
attention
I
from
guess.
people. They like if they can exist even as a caricature in people's minds.
Oh,
You know, like they're playing a role. They're trying to be the antagonist in the room.
Oh, the
And
bad
so-
guy.
Some people-
The villain, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how many
That
films
makes
we
sense.
You know what though?
made.
Like, could you imagine, Crystal,
Seriously.
DC, whoever else in here, Cam, JD, if we had a fraction of the kind of confidence that those guys have? Like, we would be unstoppable. We would take over the world. It's so
I
crazy. Where did they
know.
get it?
I can
I
tell you as a
watched the.
man, it just comes with it. I don't know if it's the society that we're in, but you can just have an ignorant, dumbass man, and he will have the full confidence of a woman who has a bachelor or doctorate degree. Straight up.
No, for sure, for sure. I just wish that I was evil. I just sometimes wish that because, do you know how easy it is to dupe these people? It's too easy. Like, could you imagine what kind of cult leaders we would have if like Joel and Mezzo were evil and Justin was evil and
Oh, if Justin was evil, we would all be fucked. Yeah. It would all be fucked.
yeah. So I'm just saying, like, same with Mezzo. Like, he could totally be evil. Totally. Same with Joel. Like, Thinker. Oh my God. Could you imagine?
I could
no.
walk into any church and be the most incredible worship director.
Right?
Like I'm so good at doing that shit. Like I can still do it. Let's worship the Lord
Yeah.
together.
That's what's so scary about the religion is that really it is that.
And it motivates people who don't even believe in it to go back. Like, I'm not even going to lie. Like, have I had thoughts about, like, in my hard times, going back and getting a church and being an evangelism pastor, you know, and getting paid to,
Yeah.
you know, get people back in the... I got paid good money doing that. I can
Dang.
go back
Right.
tomorrow.
Right.
You know, I could say, my partner, we don't really love each other. This was all a Satan attack and blah, blah, blah. I could really make it where they would agree that I am a new Christian, you know, saved, and get a job. But, like you said, that's evil. That's literally
Right?
going and hurting the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's not, but I just think about it sometimes because when I see people like Russell and No Degree, I'm like, they will believe anything. They really will. How easy would it be? You know?
Wait, he was in
I
here.
feel like
Did you see him?
Who?
Russell,
No Degree. I forgot. I saw him earlier.
Is he a he's a
subscriber?
subscriber of mine?
I
No,
don't know.
but
Maybe
you
he
could
joined
scroll
for a
in.
sub-only live or like joined as
you
a
could scroll in
preview.
a sub only live. And they'll only let you stay for like a few seconds and then they'll kick you out.
There he
And
is.
they'll let
There's
you
No
know.
Degree right there. I just saw him pop in. No
He's probably scrolling in and out.
And you're right that I do think that a part of it is the ego because No Degree said, oh yeah, I always draw a really big crowd. But the thing was the crowd was all atheists. It was primarily atheists.
Yeah.
I think
draws
most of us
Russell.
were there to, yeah.
Like I sort of feel
Russell
bad
and-
for those guys as drywall. You know what I mean?
Here's what I think.
Like
How many of
imagine
these
what their
fuckers-
lived lives are.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yes.
going to go into. Like, the
I
thing
mean, they
is,
might be
and I'm
great
always
in their
fascinated.
minds.
Yeah, right.
Thank you for
But
subscribing, Trish.
like, people join social media for one, like, community that they're not having, something that they're missing out. You know what I mean? It can also
Yeah.
be connection with family and friends that they can't communicate with easily. It could also be you have a horrible life and you hate yourself, and so you make a character. And then
Yeah.
that's who you show up on social media. Like, Darth Dawkins is not Gary when he gets on
No.
his, you know, Darth Dawkins account. Right. Like, he's an alternate character. He's like,
No, I believe that
from
more
him.
than anything now. Did you see him on my live, DC?
No, I think I did.
It's one of
actually.
my
He was
pinned
nice.
posts. Yeah, where he's
it when he was
nice and he's
nice?
doing a funny, yeah, he's really nice. He
Yes.
does a funny voice. He jokes with me. And it's like, I didn't even believe it was him at first. I truly am like, no, this isn't him, you know? He's like, no,
Same.
it really is. I was
He had to
like,
convince us.
what? Yeah,
Yeah,
I really
so
didn't
I
believe
just-
it.
I feel like a lot of these people just have like really bad lives. I don't know what their story is. I don't really care, but they have really bad lives and they have to make alternate egos, like alternate personalities.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. That makes sense. Okay, do you guys want some more? You ready?
Yeah.
I'm
Okay, don't forget.
I'm gonna jump down, okay? Love you so
Okay,
much.
Pax, thanks for coming up. I love you. Thanks
You,
for making me
Pax.
cry. I always love it when you do that.
I'm really good about making people cry. That's like my specialty. So sorry about that.
It's only because you get us here. God damn
It's
it.
because I fucking care about you and I want you to
I
care
know.
about me too. In fact, everybody,
I
before I
know.
go, just really quickly, put your arms around yourself and hug yourself and say, Pax loves me. And Pax is glad that I exist.
Pax loves me.
Love you, Pax. You sound good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you do.
I feel it's still very messed up, my voice, but I like it. So, all right. I'll see you guys later.
All right, love you. Anybody wants to come up? It's all subscribers today, so anybody can come up. Hey, Earth, how are you? Okay, don't forget, if you decide to come up with one, tell me and I'll listen to yours, okay? And we certainly created man, and we know what, I'm sorry, it doesn't say, oh yeah, it does. And we know what his soul whispers to him, and we are closer to him than his jugular vein.
There is no way that's divine.
Yeah.
Something tells me I'm wrong.
I know. Same. Divine.
Do you guys say divine or decline?
Decline. It can't be divine.
I'm saying
Okay,
divine.
and it is decline. It is the Quran, and I learned that my cats are like running and chasing each other. So if you hear loud crashes, it's just my cats knocking everything over. I learned that the word jugular is like not really in the Bible, so you know it's a. I unblocked Jess, even though she tortures me. Do you guys know Jess, the Christian?
No,
Do
no
you
idea
guys?
who that
Wait, Jess. Is she a
Yeah.
Christian?
Do you know? Yeah, that Jess right there. They sent me a rose. Do you guys know Jess? That one right there. Do you see her
That
gifting
may
me?
be a different Jess that I know.
Oh, I see it now. Okay. What's the lore? Are we going to know the lore?
You want the lore? Okay. So here's the lore. First of all, I don't know whose life she was in the first time I saw her or whatever, but she told, I don't remember, it might have been Mezzo's, but it could have been Thinkers. She goes to all the atheist lives and tells them the remarkable story about when Jesus came to her. Guess what Jesus looked like?
A white man.
Oh, that would be weird, wouldn't it? And he had long hair. Meza tried to point out to her that obviously Jesus wouldn't have long hair because that was not biblical back then.
Did he also have blue eyes?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. Anyway, so she's in a lot of lives where I'm a mod, and then I will try to tell her to not do some of the things she's doing, whether it's annoying the shit out of people by proselytizing to them or whatever, and she gets upset because I do my mod thing, you know? So the last time it was in Christina Carroll's live, I told her, I'm warning you, you know, like I will mute you. Like I'm not gonna boot her. I don't usually. She's just subscribed. I don't boot people, especially on Christina's live and stuff. I don't boot a lot of Christians.
Oh,
I
that's
usually
nice.
mute them.
She's apologizing.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird. I've come to my TikTok journey and I'm realizing, okay, I have made a lot of enemies and I'm trying to talk to these Christians, and so I need to learn how to kind of get along with them on some level. You know what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
really do get emotional with it, and so I'm trying to, you know, open my horizons, make new friends, and I've got a few Christian
Okay.
friends, and they invite me to their lives, and it's really weird to balance it, is it not? Like,
It is.
it's because like the things I want to say, I know is going to hurt their feelings. And so now I can't just say that. I have to really put it in a filter to like have them, you know, not push them out of the conversation. And so
Right.
it's just super hard because all of my friends on here as well are atheists and stuff. And so when they challenge my friends, you know, it's just a really weird position to be, to actually be friends with both, or try to be.
It's okay. Like I realize, I think that a lot of us who are in the deconstruction community, we go through stages, not just of our grief, but on how we deal with Christians. Okay. At least to me, I seem to notice that there's an evolution of where you almost go through the stages of grief at the Christians, if that makes sense. So, you know, you've got your denial, you've got, you get your
100%.
anger face, right? You know,
Yep.
and I'm just not, I want to not be as angry. I want to not be. I really am working on it. I loved going live with Tahir when we went live, because you and I, we really just talked to people, and then Zena May joined us and stuff, and it was just really nice discussion. Unless somebody came up that freaked out on us, you know, whatever. But otherwise, we just talked to people that day and found out about their favorite Bible stories, why they were their favorite, or what have you.
And I liked it. It wasn't like a debate situation. It was like so tell me about your beliefs and let's discuss them a little bit. I'll push back, but I'm not going to be disrespectful.
Yeah, exactly. But I also, sometimes I just, and I think that it is different on Joyful Side, because I get a lot of disrespect from the men, you know, and then I can only take it for so long, and then I lose my shit. But I am even trying to be softer on there. But then people in the chat start egging me on. I'm like, none of you are healthy for it.
Bad influences they are. But
You're all a bad influence.
Yep, Dark
I'm
Crystal.
not a great debater, but I will have a conversation for days. But that's the thing, when we start having a conversation and they start saying, you know, like their God's the only God, or like Jewish people are just lying people and they, you know, are mad at Jesus, so they try to, you know, mess their text up. Like, how do I not be emotional in that? You know what I mean? Like, how do I not get riled up for them saying, like, even that lady, even Jess saying that Jesus looked like a white guy, you know, like that kind of stuff does make me mad. And I don't know if it's necessarily my anger with the church, or if it's just my anger with the stupidity. Like, I cannot believe you're that stupid. I was that stupid. So it may be just me projecting that anger within, you know, like my past self. I don't know.
I know. I think there's a part of it where we see ourselves in the people and we get angry, but there is a part where so many Christians don't respect boundaries, and boundaries are really important to me. And when you keep pushing my boundaries over and over again, I'm going to lose it. Eventually I'm just going to tell you to fuck off. You know? Jess, I unblock most people. Once I only block people temporary. You're not going to like the next thing I say, Jess, but it's just the facts. Okay. It's just the facts. It's good to have Christians in our chat. It's good to have Christians in our live. The comments that you make, the fact that you show up day in and day out, all those things boost us in the algorithm. Every Christian who comes in and helps us, they literally are helping us deconstruct people. And so I don't keep Christians blocked for very long, because I want them in the chat. I want them talking. I want them to come up and talk to me. I want them to. And that might sound terrible, but that's the same reason why Christians want atheists in their chat. It's really the reason, because whether you're a Christian who's debating or an atheist debating, we can't have a show without each other. Even though we might be enemies.
That's the part, though. And we are actively trying to figure shit out, you know, and we think we have some things figured out, and that's what we try to discuss. But it's just the point where it's like delulu. It's like it gets to a delusion, and it's like you can't bring any facts to delusion. It's like no logical reasoning, you know? And I think that is what gets me so frustrated.
Yeah, it's very frustrating.
The thing is, too, Jess, I would say, I don't even know her, but what I would say, too, is I care for Jess. You know what I mean? I don't want Jess to be pushing herself down or letting men be superior over her just because she thinks that's, biblical. Like I care for Jess too. I want Jess to deconstruct the
I
toxic things in her
agree.
life.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're not enemies necessarily. It's just we just have different viewpoints. And it's like,
I think there are some people I have different viewpoints with, but there is definitely people out there that I don't think will ever change, and I
Yeah.
think that they are in the religion because they already were hateful, and then they could. No,
Oh
and I'm not saying this
yeah.
about Jess. I'm saying this that there are
100%.
people out there that are like, this religion supports my bigotry and allows me to be hateful and get away with it.
Yep.
And so I know that we lump Christians in all the time as one thing, but I do realize there are different Christians out there, and that there are some who are really good Christians and who are unicorn Christians, as we say, or whatever. And then there are other ones where, where it's like, nah, I think that's just a person who's a piece of shit, fuckface.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this religion to allow them to continue to
I
be that
agree.
way,
That's kind of
no,
what I was
100%.
thinking. Like when I was going to say, because, that's one of the big parts of our interview with Joyful is him kind of talking about how he is able to maintain a certain level of sympathy almost for the
Yeah.
Christian because, that was him at one point. And it's like, I have to remind myself that because so many of them are pieces of shit. But then you do have the
Yeah.
ones that are like, you can be a little more tender with them. But no, some absolutely not. No, they use any softness as a sign of weakness. And especially you going head to head with these guys, you cannot show them weakness.
Yeah, it gets hard because I want to be more inquisitive. And like when they say this stupid shit, I want to try to
Yes.
start asking questions instead of getting upset. But I'm sorry, sometimes they just trigger shit. And it's just like,
No,
how
you're
the
right.
fuck could you just say that, a woman getting an abortion no degree is the same as a person owning somebody? That's not the same thing. Medical care is not the same as slavery, asshole. Like that's where I lose
Yeah.
it. I'm like,
Yeah.
Having
but
some
I'm
control of
trying.
your reproduction is not owning other
Yeah.
people. It is not analogous at all. And I
Yeah.
think that, I think that the ignorance
It is,
really
Hannah.
what we're fighting. I think
Yeah.
it's the ignorance. And
Yeah, I
think
know.
people are, I think most people, and I agree that a lot of Christians are evil fuckers that just use it to control others. I'll agree. However, I think there are a lot of Christians that are actually, we perceive them as evil, but that's what they know. You know what I mean? And it's
And I
almost like,
see how much softer you're becoming, DC, and I wanted you to know that you're a big influence on me. And Tahir is just already like that. She's a very diplomatic person, so she brings that to the table for me too. And
Same.
I do see you guys. I want you to know that you are making a difference in the
Aw.
community. I want you guys to know that people are hearing you say, hey, maybe we could be kinder, maybe we could be gentler. And whether I do it every time or not, I am trying now. Okay, like
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna put a little note on my phone tonight for when I'm live with Joyful that's going to tell me WAIT. That's what Rabbi Hannah said. And it means, why am I talking? Wait. Why am I
love
talking?
that.
I do too. So I'm going to put that on my phone today. And that way maybe I'll shut up instead of get upset. Maybe I'll just be quiet.
Well, don't change too much of why we love you
No,
so
yeah.
much. And also thank
It
you.
is.
DC is
I
moving
like that
through
you
me
changed
too.
it.
He's softening me as well.
Yeah,
I appreciate
y'all
you
are.
guys.
Y'all, I think you're all helping, whether you
That's
know
how
it
you're
or not.
softening
Like
me. Rabbi
Who?
Hannah's softening me. Rabbi Hannah.
she does that. Yeah.
When I hear her talk to these Christians that are actually being hateful to her religion and her ethnicity, I listen to her and I hear her say, your religion I know is very important to you. And I know you thinking that I'm here to attack it is going to make you defensive. And
Yeah.
I understand that. That made it so much clearer to me, like, the reason why they probably are so ignorant and stupid is because they're in a defense, flight, or fight mode that we get them in. And your frontal lobe doesn't work correctly at that point. You know,
Yeah.
like you're magnitude stupid, more stupid than you are when you're out of that state. And so, like, at some point I'm like, is it even fair to judge them on what they say at that state?
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't know, you know what I mean? Like it's like Hannah and people are saying in the chat, it's a delicate balance. And I know I'll find it one day. Like I need to give myself grace during this process. At least, okay, I try to tell myself things. I try to remind myself I'm not going into their spaces and being mean or hateful to them. I'm not doing that. They're in my space. And most of the time I'm reacting to them. You know, when I am angry or upset, I'm literally reacting to them. I thought of something yesterday. Yesterday I was on Dugald's live and I went off on somebody. Like I went off on somebody, okay? And I'll explain to you why in a minute. But then somebody in the chat was saying that I was a hypocrite and fake and stuff. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? This is who I am all the time. You can ask anybody here. And as I was saying that, I remembered, oh yeah, this is exactly how I acted the first time I met Dugal. I am being exactly who I am. I went off on somebody that day too. The first time I met Dugald, somebody, a slavery apologist, was on his live, and of course I went off on him. But yesterday it was because this guy was down in the chat and he was calling me a liar over and over and over again. And what we were talking about was the Garden of Eden and then Job. And of course I hadn't lied about anything I said. It was all biblical, but you know. So he came up and he talked for a while about something else with Dugald and them. But then when there was a lull in the conversation, Dark Crystal came out. And I said, so you want to tell me how I'm objectively a liar? And then that started.
But I don't see what's wrong with that, Crystal. I really don't. I don't know. I think you can show somebody grace for, for a minute, but then eventually you're going to crack no matter who you are.
Yeah, I'm not saying that either, Crystal. Oh shit, my phone's gone.
Oh no. What had happened earlier, Tahir, which was funny, was No Degree was in there. And I had gone off on No Degree for something else, him lying about slavery or something, because he lies about that. So that's his favorite topic to lie about is slavery. Okay. And this guy had seen me yelling at No Degree. So he came up and told me, you're just so hateful because you're yelling at my brothers and sisters in Christ and stuff. Not like 45 minutes later, No Degree came back in and he joined the panel. And guess who yelled and cussed out No Degree?
Crystal?
No, the Christian who got mad at me for yelling at No Degree. And I said, oh my God, here you are being a hypocrite yelling at your brother in Christ. And he goes, well, now I fucking understand why you were yelling at him.
Oh my God.
I'm like, oh my God, there's nothing like Christian on Christian hate, is there?
Oh no, it's the best to watch. It really is.
It really is. Oh, and because No Degree's a Protestant, and that guy is like, I think he was Catholic. He might have been Eastern Orthodox. They're both very much alike in how they believe they're the only real Christians, But anyway, it was kind of funny. I love the Christian on Christian. He was Catholic, wasn't he? Okay, I couldn't remember because they both act the same with their little pompous attitudes, if you will. But so you guys, I'm going to be doing another sub-only live in the next couple of weeks, and I'm super excited because I have a special guest for my sub-only live. Anybody want to guess who my guest is?
Please,
you guys guess
Doug.
in chat. Oh, I should do one with Doug. Yes, we can disagree and still be respectful. It is not going to be Thinker this time. We just did a live with Thinker, but this live is going to be with I Am His Pastor.
Ooh, love
I think
that.
it would be fun to have a decon Q&A with I am his pastor. And I'm not, the deaconess isn't coming. The deaconess isn't coming. This is going to be CrystalJae interviews. I am his
Oh, an
pastor. And then you
interview.
guys,
I was gonna say a debate.
no, oh, that would be fun, huh? I could debate. I am his pastor. Maybe we'll get a few more pastors and friends, you know. Maybe Joel Reed's Bible will show up. Maybe Mac Lester or somebody will show up. I'm gonna let them all know ahead of time that I am his pastor will be there, and hopefully we'll have some fun. But you guys better have some good questions for this Metho Baptist pastor. I know, won't it be fun? Tahir, have you made up an alter ego yet for when we go live as I am his pastor?
No, I haven't. I just go in as myself and hope that nobody knows me.
Do you ever go up and become a Christian?
No, I just lurk in the comments.
Oh, you should go up and become a Christian sometime. I do not know why, but the funniest thing to me, and it started with me, and then it became Joel, and then Benny. Okay, so this is how it happened. I joined. He had been doing it long before I met him. Okay, long before I met Joyful. He had been. I am his pastor. But once I started co-hosting with him, I joined. Yes, I was a Christian for over 40 years. Jess, I joined him, and I joined as the deaconess, and I just started doing the same, Southern accent. And then Joel came up as Joel Reed's Bible, and he started doing the Southern accent. And I was like, this is really funny that we're all doing this stupid accent. And then Benny joined and he started doing it. So it's so funny how whenever an atheist joins, they end up doing the Southern accent immediately. It's just kind of funny. Jess, it's pretty much like pretty much every story you hear on TikTok. Once I started reading and studying the Bible, the actual Bible, its historicity, its actual translation from Hebrew or Greek, and I understood where the stories came from. I understood more about the actual tribe and not who I thought I was, in relation to this tribe. When I started realizing who these people were, what they were doing, and why the stories were written, I realized these are stories, and they were never meant for me. They just weren't. Not an Israelite.
One of the things about that I've learned recently that floored me because, I was so lukewarm as a Christian is the whole Paul, how he got the message when he was, out in the desert high off his ass?
Yeah, exactly.
If I had known that before, I don't know that it really would have made a difference, but I would like to see that or hope that it would, because that's insanity.
When, what really blew my mind? Okay, so I don't know which deconstruction person I watched first because I don't have a clear memory of going, oh, this is the first one I watched, right? And I don't even know how it started showing up on my TikTok because I wasn't out there looking. I was already deconstructed in my mind. Like I already thought, I don't believe anymore, right? So, but I didn't realize like how much I needed to deconstruct still. So I'm watching basically Skits and Bits, Joyful, and Justin at this time. There may have been more, but those were the three that I would see. And whenever they made a claim, I went and checked that claim, right? Because I was like, what? They're saying this is they're saying cannibalism is in the Bible. I don't remember cannibalism in the Bible, and then I'd go look it up and they'd be right every time. Every time, whatever they said was not one time did I catch them on a lie or even a mistake. You know what I mean?
Because they don't need to. They don't need to lie.
Right. So then I hear Justin make this crazy claim that I knew I was going to catch him on this one. He said that Jesus did not fulfill not even one prophecy in the Bible. I was like, wait, what? What did he just say now? I was sure that not only had he, fulfilled many prophecies, but surely he at least fulfilled one. And then I went and I did my research and I was like, holy shit, not even one? Not even one. Not even one. And I believed it that whole time. What is wrong with me, And so that's when I started getting more and more into actually studying and reading about the culture, the people, Mesopotamia, Babylonia, Epic of Gilgamesh. I started just really diving in, if you will.
Yeah, Jesus is doing 0 for 0. He would be at the end of the lineup, but he's holding up a whole religion.
Yeah, yeah. Could you imagine? Let's just picture for a minute. You're a young woman in, wherever they were at the time, Nazareth or whatever, and you find out that you're pregnant, right? But you're engaged to somebody and you got pregnant by somebody else. And so you decide to lie and say that God gave you this baby. And then an entire fucking religion comes out of it because you told a lie because you slept with a Roman guard. That's sometimes how I picture it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's crazy to think about is like how much happened intentionally that snowballed into what it is now. Like, the whole Paul thing, whether or not he was a real person, but if he was, he obviously made it all up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And like when you, and I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he really was on the road to Damascus and he fell and hit his head, had a concussion, saw a bright light and thought he saw all that. The fact that everybody believed it afterwards is just, it's wild. It's just wild. And the thing is that if we came and told these same stories to people today, but we changed it and it wasn't Jesus, it was Ryzen, the god of AI, they would think we were crazy. They would try to get us help.
Exactly.
But because the world has somehow found it acceptable to live in the delusion of a religion that is based on an ancient tribe, it's just wild to me. It is just wild to me that we've held on to this for 2 millennium. It's wild. No other religions have we done that with. We don't sit there and think that Zeus was real and that he controlled the thunder and the lightning,
No, there was way more years of grooming by Christianity and the heads of the church and the church fathers than the Greeks got a chance to do.
Yeah, for sure.
We were groomed by cult leaders into what we have now. It's insanity. I mean, even going back to it, I have so much like of my family or my ancestry lineage that has been impacted by the forced, I don't even know how to say it, but like Christianity being forced down our throats. And that's just, not even including all of the other people who have had, because wasn't like the Hispanic community, wasn't religion kind of pushed on them too?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so that's what they did. They force fed us this religion, and that's why everybody is so indoctrinated at this point that when you give them logic and facts, they're just like, no way. And Joyful brought up a good point when we were interviewing him, the whole like, once they think that our claims, like scientific claims, are so out of left field and wild because they've been brainwashed to think that, they're not going to put any stock into anything else we say,
Oh, no, we were taught, don't even look into that shit because if you do, it could confuse you. Satan could use it to help you lose your faith. that it was written by atheists and the atheists are Satan worshipers. Just the wildest shit. I was told somebody, so a while ago I got a book haul where I went and bought a ton, like over 20 books for like less than $2 each, around $1.50 each. And I got books for stuff like this because I never read about Greek mythology or Odysseus, or I didn't read the Homer or Iliad because, you weren't supposed to read things like that because it's going to talk about other gods and all that could just be confusing to your pretty little brain, So I'm excited about the fact that one of the things about deconstructing is the amount of things I've learned in such a short period of time. It was as if the floodgates of education opened up the minute I stepped away from that harmful religion.
Preach. Feel that 100%. I was just telling my aunt, I think it might have even been today or yesterday, but I was like, I have so much more of a hunger to learn like history and science and like all of that stuff now that, like you said, the floodgates are opened.
Yes, and it feels wonderful. And it feels, and I've said this before too, like I feel, and I'm not saying this in any negative way. I'm just saying, let's say me and you were shopping at the same mall and we somehow, maybe we even bump into each other. I help you pick up whatever fell out of your hand or whatever. I don't think that you or I would give each other 2 minutes of time because our lives in that situation would seem like there's nothing in common. I'm a much older woman than you. I'm not indigenous. I'm not LGBTQIA. You know what I'm saying? So it would be just like, hi, here. I'm sorry you dropped these. But because of this community, I get to sit at the table with so many beautiful people like you. And it would be a table I normally wouldn't get to sit at. And I love that. And it has made me feel so, it makes me feel special for sure. And to know that we also get to sit at the table with people who are so educated too, far beyond what I would ever imagine, and that they want us at their table too. It's not like we're pushing our way onto that table or something, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know. This community has broadened my life, in ways I didn't know I needed, for one, and I didn't know was ever going to happen especially at this time in my life where I'm just like soaking up books and soaking up information, learning about philosophy, learning about science, learning about terminologies that I never heard before that now I'm like, I use them on a daily basis and stuff. And it's like, I don't know, it's been a very cool experience. And I'm really, really glad that I left.
Yeah. I'm glad you left too.
I'm glad you did too.
Oh, thank you. That's one of the things, I was going to say when you were talking is, at least for me personally, you think that, but I'm the kind of person where it's like, everybody is welcome at my table. You know what I mean? Unless you give me a reason to feel opposite of that. So, you would have bumped into me. You would have been so nice unless you just talked to a shitty Christian. And I'd be like, oh, this lady is so nice, and probably strike up a conversation. I'm very receptive to the energy that people put out.
And I'm like that too. I actually, my youngest daughter used to get so irritated the way I would talk to strangers, like not because I was mean, but because that I talked to them. Like I would walk up to a person in a store and compliment their dress or something, and she was like, "Why do you do?" It always embarrassed her when she was young, But I am like that. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think that just from a chance meeting somewhere else, we would build this relationship that we build. If it weren't for this community, you know what I mean? I just think that it has led me to meet people of all ages, all over the world, you know,
Yeah.
with all different kinds of backgrounds and different kinds of, and even to this day, so many of us still have different beliefs from each other, but we're okay with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, I don't care if you don't become an atheist. I don't care about that. I do care if you don't become an atheist and you come into the Discord just to debate a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
I care about that. But if you come into the Discord and you're a Christian and you're just there to talk and learn and watch the shows or whatever, that's cool with me. I don't care, you know. And that's just it's one thing I like about us, because we have friends that are pagans, who are witches, who are Jewish, who are still Christian, who are Muslim, who are, you know, like, it's
That's
such
so true.
a
Yeah.
diverse community, and I love it.
Yeah, I never really thought about it like that, because I guess it is in my nature, you know, everybody's welcome. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
it never once thought twice about, you know, being in a conversation with somebody who is, you know, Jewish, like Rabbi Hannah. I like go to her
Yeah.
lives because I like the information that she's able to provide as well. And you're right, you know, we do have pagan friends, and yeah, it is cool. It really is cool, the opportunity we have to, like, you know, meet new kinds of people. You're so right.
And as a Christian, I would not have been friends with pagans for sure, and witches and stuff. I would have been like, I never was a rude Christian. Like, I would have been respectful and just said, "Oh, okay," and then not like really ever talk to him again. Like, I wouldn't have said anything mean, but I would have been like, "Okay, I can't really talk to Nick anymore because she's a pagan."
That would have been sad.
I know,
But-
and now Nick's one of my best friends. You know?
Exactly. But
I
you
would
know,
have
for
missed
me,
out.
it would have been like a physics major. Like, now I'm consuming that kind of content and like space stuff. But before, if somebody started talking about physics, I would have been like, deuces. You know, but now I'm like Dr.
Yeah.
Blitz. I'm so excited hearing, you know, Justin and Dr. Blitz and Ian, when they start, you know, getting to that like real smart person type stuff. You know what I mean? Like education. I'm like, ooh, that's what I really
Yeah.
like now. I never would have thought that I did.
Oh, I never would have thought that I would ever have cared anything about philosophy. And not that I like the Phil Bros, don't get me wrong. But I realized that there are aspects of philosophy that I probably didn't even realize were philosophical. I just, you know, they were just thoughts I had, right? I didn't realize, oh, you're having philosophical thoughts there, Crystal, you know? But I learned a lot about philosophy from this community, and it helped me figure out what I believe and what I don't believe philosophically, you know, and stuff. And so, I don't know, it's just really cool when smart people talk. I love when smart people
Right? Mm-hmm.
God, it's just the best. Yeah. I love hearing Dr. Blitz. I love hearing Ian. I love hearing Sam talk. Oh my God, so many smart people.
I agree.
Yeah, religion puts a stop to all of those fun questions. It really does. It's a thought-stopping ideology. Any religion is. It's just like, oh, you're having this question? Don't question it. God's ways are higher. Oh, you're having this question? Don't trust your own questions, you know?
Lean not
Oh,
on
okay.
your own understanding.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Well, listen, you guys, I think I'm going to shut down for today. It was fun doing my first sub-only live. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for the new subscribers. And I am going to be live in 1 hour and 15 minutes with Joyful Apostate for Christian debates. So I don't know if we have any special guests tonight. If you want to come up and be the guest with Joyful and myself, just DM Joyful so he can set up what day you'll come in, because we like to just not have like a huge panel come up. So we love having guest hosts, though. We really do. Okay, etc. Thank you so much.
I will see you guys then. Thank you for having me up. It's always a pleasure chatting with you, Crystal.
I love you, Tahir. You guys, I love you all. JD, etc. Grana, Ziana, everybody in chat. You guys are amazing. Have a great day, and I'll see you around the mean streets of TikTok. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, YouTube.